Hey, it's MBS. I think Gumtree, eucalyptus, can give you three key lessons about life. And look, I've got to admit, I am a huge fan of eucalypti. I've probably shot videos like this before, so you may already be going, Michael, stop talking to me about eucalyptus trees, but I have to show you this. This is just in my local neighborhood. I'm just on a little walk away from where I'm staying here in Australia. And this is one of my favorite type of eucalyptus. And if you're not an Australian, this will probably be a bit new for you because most of the eucalyptus that are elsewhere in the world are smooth trunked. But this is, I'm not quite sure what the scientific name is, but it's the Latin word for ribbon. And you can see why, because there's just great ribbons of bark falling off this tree. So here are the three lessons I'm taking from a tree as glorious as this. The very first one is this, that there's something powerful and beautiful and important around texture. So the top of this tree is quite smooth. It's quite kind of greys and silvers and browns and no real bark around it, whereas the bottom of it is, come back to me, there we go. The bottom of it is a disaster. It's just all of this bark that's fallen over. And it reminds me of how often I end up talking to people about texture, particularly when I'm talking about creating an experience for people. When I'm teaching people how to speak or keynote or to facilitate or to design a learning experience, one of the things I say endlessly is build in more texture, more highs, more lows, more louds, more quiets, more brights, more darks, more bold, more timid. There's a way that people's energy responds to this kind of shifting and changing of the experience. And so often what happens is people create a single-toned experience, a single-toned texture. So one of the things that I'm taking from this or being reminded of is just the power of texture. The second thing that I take from this is, and I'll hold this up so you can kind of see the ground around me, is like it's this is a lawn owner's nightmare because these trees just shed vast amounts of bark and it is a mess. But what I love about this house in particular, because I got 3 or 4 of these trees scattered around, so like we're just going to embrace the mess. We're not going to fight it. We're just going to absolutely embrace it. You know, there's a ongoing debate around when you look at somebody's desk and if it's clean or if it's messy, what does that say about them? And one theory is that a messy desk makes for a creative mind. And I think there's some truth to that. There's a way that a messy desk creates serendipity. I actually prefer a clean desk, but I then need to find other ways of creating serendipity. But for this video, let me just say that, look, there's mess here, like there's mess in all sorts of ways, metaphorically and literally in your life. Perhaps rather than resisting the mess, you want to embrace the mess. And then the third lesson, and these are all quite different lessons, there's no kind of key combining thought to them other than inspired by this beautiful tree, is that it's helpful to shed our skins. It's so easy, particularly I think as you get a little older, to kind of lock down your identity. This is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I stand for, these are the patterns in my life, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, this is who I am allowed to be, this is what I'm not allowed to be. And part of what inspires me about these trees is there's this continual shedding, saying I'm dropping the outside layer and I'm figuring out what's the vulnerable bark, the vulnerable skin, the vulnerable self underneath. And I just encourage you to go, what's worth letting go of? What's worth shedding? What's the old stories that I've been telling myself for just too long now, that it's time to actually say, I can let that go and I can see what is revealed underneath. Hey, I hope you've signed up for my newsletter. You'll find it at mbs.works and it's called The Works with MBS. So you see what I've done there. Every week, a short piece of writing which will help you unlock your greatness and the greatness of those around you.